Hello, my little goblins. We're back at it again, and this time we're showing Danger Darkworld. So, Darkworld got a few new tools with this new set that just came out. One of the new tools is Rainbow, and we also got Genta, and I think the other big one is Grapha with the field spell, with the fusion spell, sorry. So what do these cards do that makes this deck kind of pushed over the edge to actually being somewhat playable? Is Rainbow. This card is an engine that search out Grapha. It also has the same effect as Grapha, where you bounce Darkworld cards to your hand for the effect of summoning them to the field, which lets you level 8 spam very easily, which lets you go into Coach King Giant Trainer. And this card's going to be our main card into drawing, our main drawing engine. But we have like 3 drawing engine monster cards we can go to. We got number 60, we got Coach King, and we got yugioh. And then past that, we have Pot of Avarice to kind of recycle some cards. And Card Destruction is just a hilarious card that not only FTKs people who max CS, but it also is a very good card because all our cards have effects when they're discarded. So yeah, well, Genta pretty much searches a field spell, and it also lets you special summon itself. And this card, when it's discarded, you can add the Grapha. Those are the main big things. And then the fusion is a quick play, which also can, it doesn't matter if it's discarded because you can use its effect, discard a Darkworld card in your hand, which triggers the Darkworld effect, and then you add it to your hand. And then the big boss monster, this card's nuts, and you're actually going to see this card probably more often, not in this deck, but in Tearlament with Beast King of the Swamp. Is when your opponent activates a normal monster effect or a monster effect or a normal spell and trap card, you can make the card. It's similar to Abyss, the Abyss Actor field spell, except it only works on normal spell and traps, where you make it so the card has a different effect. So for the Abyss Actor field spell, it lets you pop a card like a set card on the field, which is good for their strategy. And then for this card, it makes you discard a card. And since your opponent is discarding a card, these Darkworld cards have like additional effects if your opponent discards the card. So like Huntsman lets you Pot of Greed. This card doesn't do anything, but I know Rainbow lets you special summon from deck. Unfortunately, we're not playing some of the other Darkworld cards because they're just not really necessary for what we're doing. There is ways of playing this deck where you play like Idol Lock and stuff like that, but I find those versions to be pretty inconsistent, and honestly, they're so cheesy. We'll talk more about at the end of the video to explain why I don't like those. But let's go into some games and we'll see how the deck performed, and you guys can see how it plays. So let's go. Hello and welcome to the first game, and we are playing against duelists. I'm going to fast forward through this because these combos do take a while. Essentially, you want to be using the danger cards, the bad ones, the level 8s first, if you have them in your hand, because you don't want them to hit themselves, because then you just do nothing. Here we're able to go into the Coach King, which is going to let us draw 3 cards. Pretty insane. I'm going to say it's OP because this deck can go into it very easily. So I know it costs 3 level 8s, but man, you just recur the level 8s anyway. So it's really strong in this deck is all I'm going to say. So Nessie discards Nessie. Okay, kind of annoying. It's fine. Jackalope discards Jackalope. I'm just part of the reason, like, I'll talk about at the end of the video, but like, I'm just so unlucky with danger activations that like it's not even funny. They all just discard themselves. They don't hit anything else in my hand. It's like, why would you? Okay, beautiful. We had Card Destruction, which is really nice. We just activate it to get a new grip. Our opponent is playing Sprite. Boom. The beautiful thing about beige is beige you can just keep recycling over and over and over. Boom. Look, beige comes back now. Boom. Do we have another one? I think I only had that one bow. Oh wait, no, I had a Grapha in there. That was a mistake on my end then. I could have used Grapha to bounce the thing again. I just used Grapha for the thing. So that was a misplay. It's not going to matter though. My end board is going to be the best end board you can make regardless. But it matters a little if you're trying to play optimally. There's a normal summon. There's a Nightmare Griffin. Boom. We're going to activate this. Here we go. Now I like setting up Grapha if you have like a decent discard. Because these cards are actually pretty good. Like if you discard this, you get 2 effects after out of it. Where you get to pop a card on the field, and then you get to look at 1 random card in their hand. If it's a monster, you get to steal it, so it's a hand rip. It activates evenly. I negate. I end up discarding Jackalope because I have brain damage. Not sure why I did that, but I did. So he's going to activate Saryuja, and since I negated this, he's going to be able to go into Gigantic, but I'll have another negate for Apolloza, which he can't stop. So he's just kind of screwed. He can't actually play the game really, because the next thing he could do. Okay, so if he play Gigantic, I think he could actually play this if he had another Sprite card in his hand. You know why? Because he plays Gigantic, right? And then, I mean, it's going to be an uphill battle, though. But he plays Gigantic, he activates Gigantic, I negate, and then he goes to combat, attacks over this, kills this, and then he can summon whatever the Sprite. It doesn't activate, but then he could go into Sprint, I guess. Summon, get another 2 bodies. It's going to be an uphill battle, let's just say that, because he needs to keep summoning here, and he's just going to run out of spaces. And Sprint's arrows are kind of bad in this position. So he just concedes. GG. Get annihilated. Hello, we're here with game number 2, and our hand is looking extra juicy, oosy, mushy. We got 2 Gentas, which is going to be pretty good. Playing against Sprite, who's going to be able to do full end board. Again, last game is Sprite, this game is Sprite. These games take place in Masters. There goes the Gigantic Sprite. Boom. Set. So, you guys might be wondering, like, what the hell was his end board? Well, I assume he bricked heavily. Yeah, I mean, that's the only assumption I can make, right? I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, his back row are a bunch of spells. So, like, he's going to still set up a monster negate. And I'm going to be under max C, which I don't really care for. I activate Genta, adds gates. I play gates, he pops. That's 1 negate. Play Genta again. That's 2 negates. Card destruction. Got a new grip. If you're wondering why a card destruction, then not try. I'm gonna try. He's at 5,700. I'm just gonna try and kill him. Then we're gonna activate another Genta. Add Darkworld. Activate Smashers. This one. I'll never get the field spell off for as long as I live. Ascension's actually really solid here. He ashes, so I know I don't really have to play through any more hand traps, which is really good for me. Gonna add gates finally. Finally, gates resolves. It's a Christmas miracle. Boom. Again, a misplay. Like, I should just, like, I have these cards in the grave. I should be bouncing this any opportunity I get. It's a pretty big misplay to not do that, in my opinion. Grapha. Danger. This lets me summon Nessie. And we're just going to kill him. There, I activate it. Boom. Fusion. Pop the back row, just cross out. And he's dead. We have, like, super lethal. And GG. Playing it's a lot of interruptions still, but it wasn't the full Sprite end board. I'm pretty sure if he went like Caddy into like the Herald play that they normally do, like it's an insta scoop for us because all our cards get banished. So it's like we can't do anything. Alrighty, we're here at game number 3, and our opponent Max sees us before they even see what we're playing. He's playing Runic Stun, so let's teach him a lesson in self-respect. We are going to just... If you see some weird plays happening, we're just going to draw him out because I just find it funny. So here comes Curious. Curious sends Diabolica. Diabolical cause effect activates a special summon. We're gonna Pot of Avarice this bitch. Pretty lucky on our end for him not to have Ash, but I don't even know if he runs Ash in his deck. I would have to relook. Okay, boom. Fusion. Here comes Grapha. Now we have a negate, so if he does try to do a hand trap, or we have a stop to it. Here comes Gate. Boom, there's Apollosa, so we have double stop. I just don't want Ash to hit me at this point. So if he does draw Ash, like, it's pretty much stopped. Here's Coach. Can't stop my Coach. You know, if Margin number 75 was still in the game, Bamboozle, which lets you add your material to a card, and you just make a massive Bamboozle, like 5 material Bamboozle, and attach it to a giant trainer. So you draw 8 cards, that'd be awesome. I know it'd be extremely difficult to try and even do that, but sounds cool in my head. Okay. Look at all the discards, dude. So yugioh. So here, my opponent has 21 cards. I'm a hero at the game, so I'm like, okay, special summon, card destruction, have fun. Bye-bye. Tell me that is not satisfying, because that is hilarious. Alrighty, we're here with game number 4, and I think this is going to be the last one just because this deck is kind of linear. And we'll talk more about it in the recap. But yeah, you know what? I'll just talk about my thoughts here about the deck. But I'll give the rating and everything like that in the recap. I think the deck's decent. I think it's okay, but it's so linear, and the game strategy like makes it so you don't run hand traps. So like going second is like brutal. And like honestly going first is not like amazing either, because unless you get perfect combo and your opponent's playing no hand traps or playing like just like Maxi Ash, you're gonna get fucked. Like if your opponent's playing Maxi with actual like relevant like hand traps in the deck, they're just gonna keep interrupting you over and over and over, and you're just gonna be like, oh shit. And you're gonna fumble and he's gonna have like 10 cards in his hand. So we're comboing here. So he negated Saryuja, which is not the end of the world. So this is like a board where they negate Saryuja, okay? So this is like pretty relevant here. They imperms Saryuja. And we're still going to keep playing through it. I'm just trying to get another level 8 on the board. That's like the entire thing what I'm trying to do right here. Here's card destruction. Boom, this is pretty much going to activate everything I want to activate. Add the Grapha, add that, summon this, bounce it, boom. My hand, full hand rip. My hand's like crazy right now. And he imperms the second Coach. So this guy knows how to play against Danger. Against Danger Darkworld. Like he literally held... Oh, actually, you know what? He probably just top decked that off of... Never mind. I take everything I said back. He just top decked it off of the card destruction. I'm stupid. We got an Apollosa on the board though. Again, unlucky. Unlucky with the Danger. Boom. Boom. There's Dweller. There's IP. Because Nightmare Phoenix doesn't really do much against like Labyrinth, so I did this end board instead. Because what Dweller is gonna do is it puts a layer on him, so if he tries to like recur some of his like graveyard effects, like if he plays like Chandelier with Ku Clock and all that stuff, I don't want him getting all those cards back. So I'm gonna Dweller on his turn and probably Dweller on my turn, depending on what he does. So we're gonna negate this Ariana. Pop his back row, hit skill drain, go into Nightmare Unicorn, activate Nightmare, and then just pick another part back row. He's fucked. GG, get annihilated. Hello and welcome to the recap. Thanks for watching this far. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please subscribe to the channel. It would be much appreciated. And also join our Discord. It is down below. We host tournaments every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, so come join us on that. We host it on Twitch. So yeah, let's talk about the deck. Pros, cons, and what I rate it. So the pros of this deck is it's pretty fun, I would say, especially if you like to gamble, because the danger cards are very gambly. And the end board's not bad, right? Like yugioh, or like just Apollousa. Like if your end board is just Apollousa, Grapha, and like Abyss Dweller, like that's a pretty good end board. You got like 4 monster negates, you got an Omni negate kinda with Grapha, and then you have a graveyard nuke. I mean, that's not bad at all. That's pretty good. And if you get full end board where you get boom boom boom, you got like even a more massive lock. The great thing about card destruction is it does let you see what your opponent's playing. So like you can alter your game plan. You see how like I could have built like Nightmare Griffin and all that stuff. I just was like, well, that would be pointless, right? Because like he's playing Labyrinth. Like it would just be way better for me to just go into Dweller, or even it might actually be better even go into DE Divisor to suck up his cards. But for the most part, just having these multiple negates with IP being able to go into Nightmare Unicorn to pick another card off, it's pretty big, pretty massive. Holding Grapha in hand because we know we could use it as another pop, depending on what he does. I mean, here's a little silly using Ariana's effect and then fucking setting all 3 cards before using Ariana, which is really stupid, but for the most part, you get what I'm saying. I think this deck, the big negatives on it is the randomability of it. Like you're playing like these danger cards, and like if you're just really unlucky, just like let's say I open like Danger Bigfoot, Danger Thunderbird, and let's say like Grapha and like another Darkworld card. If both my dangers just hit like both of them, like they hit themselves, my turn's over. I just don't do anything, which I really do not like. I absolutely despise mechanics like that. So if you're someone who's like very unlucky or just really does not like to roll the dice on that, this deck might not be for you. But for the most part, I mean, the good thing at least with Jackalope and Suganoko, and honestly even Mothman's really good in the deck. I wouldn't even mind putting this card at 3, is when they mill themselves, they at least do something, you know? Yeah, Mothman at 3 might actually not be a bad play either, because it's another level 4 which lets you go into other things. You can put Baguska in the deck too. That's definitely something you could do, but I just found it redundant with Nightmare Griffin, so I just didn't. What else do I want to say? So yeah, I think the deck was like, it was all right. We were going like 50% win rate, so we were like winning a game, losing a game, winning a game. This was in Masters, so we were like winning a game, losing a game, winning a game, losing a game. So sometimes we'd have a losing. It was probably maybe like 50 or like a little less than 50%. But like I said, like I'm just really unlucky too with the cards. Like I would like open hands where I just hit Thunderbird, I open double Thunderbird and they both hit itself. And I'm like, okay, well my turn's over, I lose the game. Out of a 1 to 10 on the list, I'm gonna give this deck like 6.5, 7. Probably a 6.5. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 because like it's super cheesy, and like I said, I'm not a fan of it. You know what? Maybe let's just put it at 7. We'll put it at 7. I think it's fine at 7. But like, the end boards are strong, but it's first of all, there's 2 things. If you're climbing ranked, you like typically want to play a deck that's like relatively quick to play. Like they do things like pretty quickly. This deck takes forever to do anything. So like if you're just talking about like 5 hours of ranked with Danger Darkworld or 5 hours of ranked with Labyrinth, probably going to rank up way faster with Labyrinth because the deck's better in general, and the fact that like the matches go like this, they're very quick, you know, where this deck is like you got to do like a 600 card combo. And on a tier scale, it's definitely going to be in the rogue tier. I don't think it's a meme tier deck. I think it's just a rogue tier deck. I know people are pretty hyped about it and stuff like that, but I don't know. I just not a fan. Maybe there's a world you don't play with dangers, but I feel like you kind of have to. Probably one of the better discard outlets for the deck. So, and it's kind of unfortunate. There's a lot of like good discard cards, like the nightmare cards, but they all discard for cost, which makes these cards not activate. They have to discard for effect, which is a little annoying. You can also look into playing. Like I wasn't playing Parl. I'm not playing Parl. And I'm not playing the other card that like summons onto your opponent's side of the field. That's mainly because I wasn't playing like these cheesy locks, like the idol lock and stuff. I just find those locks to just like you're doing all this work, and there's a good chance that probably not going to hit. And if it does hit, it's like, oh, okay. But if it doesn't hit, it's just like, oh, why did I do any of this? I don't know. But maybe Parl will be good. I don't know. Parl's not too bad. The other card's not too bad, too. It does special summon 2 monsters, too. It's a 2 monster special summon if it's discarded by your opponent's card effect. So, I don't know. I like this deck, but it's like, again, ridiculously expensive. And not only is it ridiculously expensive, it's also like, think about this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Technically, you could use this for other decks, but let's be honest. 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 in archetype fucking ultra rares that you need. That's a lot of fucking ultra rares for a deck. It's like it's not like heroes or anything like that, but it is a pretty relatively expensive deck. You might as well build tier limit at this bank, and tier limit's still insane. So tier limit will play probably Grapha too. There'll be decks where they play Grapha. It'll be pretty good in it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys did, please like and comment down below saying what you want to see next. Until next time, goodbye.